Coletrane coming at you from the official YouTube website of the Trainwreck, a podcast about pop culture, society, entertainment, Yamama, hosted by four sarcastic, slightly jaded, but fully authentic Gen Xers. We chat, we laugh, we play games, we're interactive most of all. So we do include you in all the fun. So do like the instructions say down there. Click, subscribe, give a like, ring that bell, and join us live every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern right here on the Jaded Zen Network. While you're here, go ahead and take a look around. But on your way out, remember, click that subscribe button, give a like, ring the bell, and be that cool friend that gets people to watch a good train wreck. Because once you do, you just can't look away. See you every Wednesday. Warning. The following video contains material that may be harmful or traumatizing and possibly triggering to some of our audience. There will be discussions of rape, sexual assault, and physical assault. If these subjects do trigger you, it's probably advisable to not watch tonight, but please show up next week. And in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. The following podcast is rated R for adult language, references to drug and sex, possible disturbing images. The chances of staying politically correct is about 0. Fart and toilet humor, and we're just plain filthy. You've been warned. You have 3 seconds to bow out. 3, 2... And now it's showtime. All right, welcome to the Trainwreck. I am your host, as always, Coletrane. Is this right? Nope. Along with my right-hand lady, Shelly Coletrane. You guys don't realize everything is mirrored on my end, so I never know which way I'm pointing or where it's going. At any rate, let's see, which one shall I pick first? All the way out there in New York City, Queens to be precise. It is the goddess of NYC, all the way out in Queens, all that royalty. Better than pork and beans. What's going on, Lolo?
The word for the day is exhausted.
Yes.
Been a long day. But
I
a good
woke
day.
up from an accidental nap about 15 minutes ago. So, well, no, 20 minutes ago, because we got on the air, not on the air, but on this meeting 15 minutes ago. Y'all can already tell I'm just fucking up already. So maybe it's going to be one of those shows, but it will be entertaining. To make
Very
it even...
entertaining.
What's that?
Oh, it'll be very entertaining.
Oh, yeah. To add to the entertainment-ness, we have all the way out in the middle of nowhere. She's in a cornfield. To find her, you can't even GPS. You got to take a bus, then you got to take a car. Then you can only go so far before you ride the donkey across the bridge. You got to ask the guy at the edge of the corner store, where JJ at? And he's like, she's right there. JJ Jackson.
Right
And
there.
if you go past the big fish, you gone too far.
So what has been going down in New York?
Cold, a little bit of snow, a lot of rain, and the regular old crime, grime, and bullshit.
I pulled this up on my phone earlier. This is our differences here. Yours looks sad.
Oh, it's pathetic. It's very gray, cloudy, dismal. Yeah, that's accurate.
I took this right at 11 a.m. my time. So as you can see,
Oh,
there's
65.
Yeah. Right now it is, I
Oh.
believe, 70.
What?
What?
Yeah. It's
JJ,
just
what
now
you got
reaching,
in
like,
Nebraska there?
Uh,
What temperature?
Right
it's just
now
below
it
that 40.
is.
No, wait.
Oh yeah, we're below 40 now.
Your low is 30. That sounds like it
Um,
sucks.
we're at. Let me make sure it updated.
Mm, mm.
52.
Oh,
Oh
really?
no.
It's not
Still
too bad.
52.
A little cold for
But
draws, but
Yeah, we're second.
40. We're holding steady at 40 here.
oh yeah,
it'll start
we
dropping
dropped all the way
anytime.
down to 70.
Yeah, we're 70 right now.
Oh, boo.
You love it.
I don't like you anymore.
You can live vicariously
That's
through
gonna
us.
say,
Right?
You know where we visit?
Mhm. Yeah, y'all got a good place to visit. Just got to scrape
That's
up them
true.
pennies and hitchhike.
Mhm.
Jay, you just run alongside a train for a little while and then hop in that like middle part. So you start when the engine comes. That way you can build a good enough speed, but you ain't gonna catch up with the engine. So you're gonna run just good enough to where when it goes past that little middle cart's open, just throw
Mhm.
yourself up in there, and there's gonna be probably another dude, and he'll have a
And-
harmonica, and you
and
guys
it'll
have
be
fun for a
open.
little while.
It'll be open on the other side, so I'll
Yeah,
hop in.
it goes
and
all the way
go
through, so
this
don't jump
way.
too hard
Right, yeah.
because you might just
Right
like, all
out.
the way to the
That's
other side.
my luck.
But yeah, there should be an old man, probably a little rotund with a harmonica. I call you cousin. And you guys will have fun all the way on out here. So I think you can
Yeah.
go to about Colorado and then you have to switch trains, go down through New Mexico, and then you'd wind up here in Phoenix somewhere. That's the
Would
way
you
to do it.
believe I've never ridden on a train?
I never have either.
What?
That's our goal is I think this
Yep.
summer we want to go to Napa and take one of those wine train
Through the
experiences.
vineyards. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
Well,
God,
it's
I'm
like a
taking a million
it's
Amtrak.
a 4-hour ride. So they go like all the way around this like 5-mile track or whatever, how long it takes. But it's like a 4-5 hour ride, and there's like full course dinners and lunches and all that kind of shit, and then so many different kinds of wines.
Oh,
But I
that
mean, it ain't
sounds
cheap, you know.
fun.
It's like $350 a person.
Yeah.
But for all that, you know, I mean,
Yeah, it's totally worth it.
you considering you're like just below San Francisco where everything's expensive. And you know, it's like decadent shit. You know, you get the train ride. They showed the view, and it's really beautiful. Like,
Oh, I bet.
the view of the mountains, or you can see the view of like the vineyards, and it goes at a fast enough pace for you to know you're on a train, but not so fast that you're like, "Whoa, man!" If you're high.
What was that?
John, you in the house yet, man? You see him anywhere in there?
No, he hasn't said
In the
anything
house,
yet. If he
because I
is.
know it's your birthday, so we gotta do the birthday beat
That's
down.
right.
So yeah, let me know when he shows up, and then we'll put up the sign that I worked ever so hard to put together. Actually, that's mounted. But I was going to show him the experience. I'll show y'all too. Jay, I know you remember this. That is my exact Cadillac door. And I'm not joking at all. The color, the wood paneling, like trim,
Yeah.
the little tail light down at the bottom.
Yep.
That actually might be my car. Because there were only so many that had that color. But yeah, so when I was talking about I drove a land yacht, that motherfucker looks like a window unit air conditioner.
Yeah, it does.
And Emma, if it swung and caught you in the leg or something like that.
Oh my God, that was horrible.
But if you look in close, this was a 75, which means it came out in 74 sometime. But it was luxury as fuck back then, because if you look like on that wood paneling, so there's the handle, and then there is that I can lock everybody else's windows, so I can fart and lock it, and nobody can escape.
Electric.
Yeah, everything was electric. The windows. Oh, Daryl, what's going on, man? Yeah, you do remember. You caught it on the tail end when it was when it was starting to reach its final moments. But I could control both mirrors on each side. I'm trying to think of what else that bad boy had. It was sweet. All of the seats were electric. All the windows were electric. The trunk was electric. So like when you shut it, it was like
Yes. Yes.
like it made sure the body stayed up in there. From what I remember, the gas tank had a lock on it. It had one of them big sweet, like, you know, the pull down gears that's on the steering shaft.
Uh-huh.
Man, that shit was sweet in 74. In 96, it was a little, I could, you know, get all my friends up in there. I could get literally eight good chubby people. You throw some skinny people, we might get 10 up in there. And literally, I bet you 3 bodies could fit in the trunk. I'm guesstimating.
Well, didn't you say
Wow.
that had you could fit your sax, the tuba?
The tuba maba, the saxophone.
Wasn't there other instruments that you could fit all in there?
Speedy, it was Scott had the tuba. Speedy had me and Speedy were saxophonists. Jesse had a trumpet, so that's something you could throw in the glove compartment.
The glove compartment.
But well, and then all of our uniforms and shit, when we had to go to contests and all that kind of shit, they were not comfortable, to say that. Because nowadays they probably have Speedos and shit nowadays, like the Olympians. But back when we were doing it, and let me tell you what pissed me off down in Miami. So we were in the Orange Bowl parade back in 1995. Shut up, dude. Back in the year of our Lord, 1995, 94 going into 95. So this is when Nebraska played Miami. It just happened to come out that way. We were going to be at the Orange Bowl anyway, the band. So it just happened that Nebraska, won enough games. Miami won enough games. It was in Miami. The Rock was on Miami's team. Ray Lewis was on that team. I mean, it was a badass team.
Yeah.
So where was I going?
Your outfit.
Oh yeah, goddamn. So Miami is fucking humid. Even in November, December, it don't matter. It's humid, and it's take your breath away humid even at night.
Oh.
So we're marching. I think they said roughly 3 miles. Daryl, correct me. I don't know. It might have been more than that. But oh wait, I don't think Daryl was there. Yeah, he was. He was my roommate. So anyway, so we had these drum majors who have less uniform than we do. They had like cowboys in white. The girls had a skirt and a little, cowboy hat. And we had what was called the Pommelinks, because our team name was the Links, as in chain. We're all a link. So the Pommelinks were like the dance squad. These heifers wear nylon stockings, a skirt, and these shirts that have no sleeves, right? And little pom-poms. Our uniform consisted of whatever clothes we were wearing, with pants that you pulled over the clothes with suspenders. One of them little dickies that made it look like you had a tuxedo on. A fucking bullfighting outfit that you had to put on over it. It was like made of like nylon and
completely non-breathable material.
what the hell am I trying to say?
Polyester.
Polyester, yes.
Yes.
Only dry cleated. Brass buttons all over the fucker. I mean, it's at least 5 pounds. Like putting this thing on, and there's a cape attached to it. I mean, and the cape goes down to your ruffle dicky. Yeah, cape comes down to about your calves. You had to wear black socks and black shoes. And again, you have your regular clothes like shorts and whatever you wear during the day. But you got all this shit and a fucking hat that's like a helmet, like the British people wear, with a plume. And we're carrying an instrument, blowing into said instrument, having to remember all of our shit throughout the whole thing. Excuse me. At the end of these 3 miles, I'm not in shape. My boys ain't really in shape. Daryl was really the one that, was in shape at the time. And, we were sweating and shit, but these heifers are over there fainting and complaining about how, I'm like, bitch, I would trade that outfit with you skirt and all right now. Like, you heifers. They was having asthma attacks and shit. See, Lo was so disgusted she had to leave. She couldn't take such things. Anyway, before I get way off, shout out to Kenny and Bob for building the world's largest Chuck E. Cheese in the Philippines. Don't you start fucking around, boy.
Exactly.
Yeah, JJ, take care of that.
Damn it. I need to see better.
Yeah, you do. Put them Mr. Magoo glasses, the ones that's real.
Shut up. I don't like the way those make me look. I don't like the way they make me look, but I'll get closer. Yeah.
I probably would have been the same person that was complaining only because I have such a heat sensitivity. But I don't know. I don't know if I would have been able to be in marching band in the first place, knowing that that's what you do is march, you know, when it's all kinds of hot.
Keep talking. I'm getting ready to sleep.
I was going to say, yeah, Daryl.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then the Miamians, being so fucking stupid, believe that since they see Lincoln, Nebraska on the side of our shit, that we are Nebraska. We're the university. So I started hearing like ping, ping, ting, 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 like you're hearing shit come off your helmet. These bastards are throwing rocks at us. Fucking high school marching band.
What the hell?
Damn.
That's when I knew I loved being a heel. That's what I knew, because I kind of egged a few of them on too. But
regardless, if you were in
Kevin,
what's up, Kev?
Terrible that you were in high school and they're throwing this at you, but even if you weren't in high school, what the fuck?
right?
People are so stupid.
Oh yeah,
because the marching band has something to do with how their football team plays.
yeah. Ain't scoring not one touchdown.
Come on.
Caught a pass, none of that shit. I didn't even get a carry. You know, but, shit, we didn't make it to the bench squad. But
That's crazy.
anyway.
But you know, they've done that to Nebraska in a few different places. They've,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
That is the one thing a lot of teams will say about Nebraska, though, is that we are welcome. They're welcoming, you know,
Yeah.
as far as fans go. Because I remember I worked at a hotel called the Cornhusker downtown. I was like the head cleaner guy or whatever the hell. Thanks a lot, Bruce
Thank you,
Leroy.
Bruce.
I love that. Bruce Leroy.
Leroy.
So, you know, I think we were playing we were playing Cal because it was Golden Bears. And the elevator door opened and there were like three of them just all huddled up looking nervous and stuff. And I was like, what's up, fellas? And I was like, you know, good luck. He's like, oh, you don't mean that. I was like, no, trust me, man. I'm a Texas fan. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the one funny thing about the Texas and the Huskers. When Coletrane and I were engaged and we were planning when we were going to get married, we decided to get married on an actual Husker game day. And my family was livid because they're all huge Husker fans. And I finally said to like my sister, because this was after the third or fourth time that she was complaining about something about our wedding. I said, you know what? If you don't want to come, you don't need to come. They are playing the Texas Longhorns, who is Jason's favorite team. And if he chooses to get married on the day that they are playing,
It was fair.
then it will be on a
Shut
Husker
the
game
fuck
day
up.
too. Yeah. So if
Like
you
y'all
don't
ain't
wanna
gonna have
come,
little
don't
radios
come.
and shit telling you what's going on anyway.
So stupid.
They're almost. I was just dried up in a hurry. So did Lo say she got like?
She said she got booted.
Did she say her battery died or something?
She just said that she's trying to get back in.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, we already looked at the weather across the nation. For those of you who didn't see, this is what we're all dealing with as of 11 a.m. my time. It was a gorgeous 65 here in Chandler, Arizona, where people are like, where the fuck is Wymore? It's Nebraska. Like the middle of Nebraska. Like that's triple, quadruple, quintuple landlocked. Like they don't even drink water. And in New York, just as gloomy as New York can be, just as gray.
You know what, though?
Okay,
I actually only live about 12 to 16 miles from the Kansas border. So I'm not really in the middle of
oh, so
Nebraska.
you way down south. Damn, so you almost had two connecting landlocked ass states.
Yes. Yes.
You used to live in Kansas too, didn't you?
I did.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't want to go back there.
And, you know, speaking of terrible weather and places to be, before we go on, of course, we always talk about mental illness and whatnot. Rejection-sensitive dysphoria is a real thing. It's when someone becomes deeply distressed at the thought of being rejected or criticized. It's commonly seen in people with ADHD and anxiety. For those people that say, you know, so-and-so is too sensitive or whatever, be aware of that is an actual disorder. I mean, that does screw some people up, especially if you have ADHD or you're on the spectrum or anything. And, you know, even some people that are just assholes, like they just get triggered real easy. But so be aware of that. You know, just be kind to people. It's not that hard. Two places you need to go often: the place that heals you and the place that inspires you. Often. Like, the place that inspires me is literally my bedroom where I can meditate. And it's also a place that heals me, really. Home. Somebody getting in the house.
Knock it off.
He's barking that. Choke him. Bite him on the throat. I hate him.
The dogs are barking at each other.
All right. So anyway, yes, where place that heals you, place that inspires you. And again, we always say wait 5 minutes. If you feel like there's absolutely no way out but the permanent way out, 988 is the suicide and crisis hotline. If you ever need someone to talk to, don't hesitate to call or text 988 Lifeline at 988. You can also chat with the trained caring crisis counselor online at 988lifeline.org/chat, which is really important. And of course, any of you who know me, even if you don't know me all that well, drop in my DM if you need somebody to talk to. Because I know how it feels. Thank you so much. Thank you. Suspicious, but thank you.
Right.
So yeah, you know, if you feel like it's just the only way out, just wait 5 more minutes, talk to somebody. I guarantee somebody cares, even though you don't think they do. They do, trust me.
Somebody does, yes.
If you are part of the LGBTQ community, there is help for you as well. The LBGT national hotline is 888-843-4564. The national youth hotline, 800-246-7743. For national coming out support, 888-688-5428. And for the national senior hotline, yes, there's senior gay people too, remember? 888-234-7243. I don't know why they didn't make theirs easier, though. You know, it's like the other one is like, well, I guess they're all kind of hard. Anyway, for old people, it should be like 999.
I was going to say, they should make all of them 3 digits, but I guess you can use 988 regardless of your age.
But, you know, and they're probably working on it, though. Who knows how long it took for the 988.
Yeah.
Trans. You guys are having problems. 877-565-8860. It's trans-led, so it's not a bunch of posers acting like they know what you're going through. They've actually been through what you're going through. And last but not least, this one I had to search for. And I think it's very important for people of color. If you are depressed, please call 800-604-5841. It's called Black Line, but it's not just for blacks. It's for anybody of color, anybody who is systematically, what am I trying to say? Marginalized. Thank you. I'd have been here 13 days trying to get that. So again, if you're a person of color and you feel like you need someone of color to talk to, 800-604-5841. And mental health is super important. Trust me, it's the foundation, and if the foundation crumbles, the rest comes crumbling down too.
Yes.
And ladies, please remember, gentlemen too, men break too. In 2021, men died by suicide 3.9% more than women, and it was estimated that 18% of men in the U.S. had some type of mental illness in the past year. Suffering in silence isn't the answer. Now that men are talking, are we listening? So that is the end of that PSA. Thank you, dude. You know, it's
Sexy Kenny.
really important, dude.
Yeah.
Where was I going? Okay, and also want to remind you that we are all about Generation X. So if you don't understand what we're saying, you're probably not in that category. But if you are, or you want to understand what the hell we're all about, this is all we're about right here. Generation X. We need to go to our credits now, and take about 20 seconds. So everybody grab your pens, pencils, and recording devices. And this is where you can find all of our fabulous social medias or whatever. For those of you watching the Trainwreck Live, we are currently simulcasting on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube at Jaded Zen. YouTube viewers, click the subscribe button in the lower right corner of your screen and boom, you're in the cool car. The Trainwreck is property of Jaded Zen Entertainment, copyright 2024, all rights reserved. All right. Caught me all off guard.
Hey, thanks for joining.
Hey, it's all right. Drop in anytime, drop out, get something to eat, drop back in.
Happy hump day.
Let's see. So let's check out a couple of videos and we will get right into our main topic, which of course, if you saw the meme, it's disgusting, it's disturbing. And it's just a microcosm of what's going on in the entire world of people with power. So we will talk about Vincent Kennedy McMahon and his latest, the latest shit that came out. I downloaded the court documents. There were too many for me to print, so I have them on my screen. Pages. And the shit that are in these pages are things that you wouldn't even think to do it to another human being. We'll get into that in a little bit. But first, let's get into a little laughy laugh. As I'm trying to desperately scroll to the video part. There we go. You know, little kids are always like telling on themselves because they're too dumb to know better. Like, nothing happened and you didn't ask.
Yeah.
You know, shit like that. Here's a grown-ass adult over there on the MAGA side doing the same shit.
Part of the first group that was there, I seen what was going on. I seen that everybody was standing there peacefully, you know, singing Amazing Grace. Once people got to the steps, that's where everybody was like, whoa, what is going on here? You know, everybody felt that. There was a group of like 30 to 40 people that walked around with megaphones that was screaming, this is your chance, fight for your freedom. You know, trying.
Who were those people?
I have no idea. I only knew the 5 people I traveled down there with. But
So you think that those people were either Nancy Pelosi or instigators or?
Well, I mean, hasn't it come out that how many FBI informants were actually on the ground? How many Capitol Police officers, undercover cops were on the ground? Have you guys not seen the body cam of the actual Capitol Police officer, Metropolitan Police officer, where he's climbing the scaffolding, encouraging people to, you know, keep moving forward? Yes, I do believe that was police and DC people.
Did you hear the sound on that?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
good.
could.
Okay.
For some reason it wasn't coming through our speaker.
Oh,
It's not
yeah.
coming from the screen at all, so I'm looking at hers to see when it ends, and we can't hear anything. So, Jay, entertain us for a little while. Do you have anything prepared that you want to talk about, or just talk about your show for a minute while I go to another? What am I trying to say? Browser. I am fucked up. Okay. Yeah. So you got anything prepared that you can talk about for about a minute?
No, not particularly, but I can do it. I mean, no
All
big
right.
deal.
I'll tell you what.
So,
Michelle will
if you
still
guys
be here with you. I'm just
to
gonna
me.
stop my camera. Or no, I'll just go to my avatar. How do I do? That's the opposite of what I want to do.
It's not him. Bottom left.
Oh, okay.
So- I don't know if I showed you or not, but my mom got me the world's best Christmas present.
You
It
did
is
not.
a Bible, and it says inspire on it. But the
Oh,
best
that's
thing about
awesome.
it, it's a coloring book.
Oh, I
Like,
love that.
yes, it's like, and I
That is so
love it.
cool.
That's what I've been spending most of my time doing lately because it's so cool. I'm like, okay, let's read about this verse today and coloring it. And so today I got my little tabbies, the little tabs that you put on it to separate the books from one
Yep.
another. And
Yep.
I'm pretty excited to do that.
Well,
It's
you
the
know, the other
simple
thing,
things that make me happy.
the other thing that I think is super cool is we've had several people on several different shows that say that you are an inspiration. So how fitting is that?
That's
know,
what they
you're
were like, you
inspiring.
got the
You're an inspiration.
perfect gift.
Yes.
My
Yeah.
inspiration.
Yeah. He's the only one that could sing that between the two of us. I'd be messing it all up.
Me
You
too.
might
It's
me for
funny
just
that people think that because they don't even know that much about me. Like from this show, I don't share even a tenth of what I go through.
Right? Yeah. But
So you
and
guys
what
would
you
be
have shared.
surprised. Oh. Whoa, that was the wrong button, huh? Now I can't hear you, Shell.
Can you
Okay.
hear me? Oh,
Now I can hear you.
how about now?
Yep, I can
Okay,
still
good.
hear you.
all right. I have
Jason,
success-
from that angle, you look like Shamar Moore. Can you turn around again? Oh my goodness.
Lord have mercy. You know?
She might need to
Just-
take a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna go take
Lay
a
down
quick
a towel.
shower. I'll be back.
My,
I love me some Shamar.
we know. This is something I wish.
Somebody call it Ian. Thank you. Liked and shared.
That's a Southern Indiana reference.
Mm.
Let's see. Okay, so we got the self-tattling fool. Let's hope that I can actually hear this next shit. Otherwise, we're gonna go right into something else, and I'll just sit here twiddling my fingers while you guys like, enjoy shit. This one is called "News is Censored." I guess this guy thought he was doing this newsman a favor by telling them how fake the news is or something, but he wound up just looking stupid. Here we go.
What do you mean censor?
You having to read it?
Oh, it's just a script of what I say while you see the video up. You know,
But it's censored.
everything I wrote is what I wrote. It's just me saying it while the video is up. You know.
There hasn't been real news, man, since the 80s.
Why? How would you know this is the real news? You didn't write it. You didn't report on it. Hey, how you doing?
Said, if that's the case, there won't be an editor.
Why wouldn't you have somebody edit what you put out, though? It's like you writing a speech, and before you get up to give a speech, you just going off of what you've
Sir,
written.
I work for the U.S. government.
And that's fine, and I have a job to do right now, so I'm gonna let you have that.
Like I said,
All right, and that's fine.
thank you.
Have a good
Thank
day.
you for proving my answer.
Have a good day, which I did not.
God bless you and your family.
Take care. Happy New Year. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Who the
What
fuck
an
walks up and
idiot.
just?
Right?
But you know that is the thing. The most ignorant people want to show how like smart they are. It's called what is it? Dunzinger syndrome.
Yeah.
When dumb people believe that they're smarter than the world.
That's a
Aloha,
thing?
bada. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember we did a show on it like a year ago. I guess we got to do another one.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, there literally is a syndrome of people who are not very intelligent that believe they're smarter than the world, and you just can't convince them otherwise.
I think another part of that is called narcissism.
I think we call it MAGA nowadays.
He is in the house. We were asking about you, John.
Yeah. Oh yeah, John.
Sorry, JJ, I accidentally clicked on the button.
that's
Welcome
okay.
in, and maybe let's go a long fucking ways to say happy birthday, John.
Yay.
I believe he is as old as I am.
Hey.
46. Is that right, John, or 47? I don't want to age you. I think he's my age.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I'm older than you guys.
Well, and the one in the middle is 50.
I don't know.
Yeah.
She's like, what?
Every stinking time.
Oh yeah, you know I'm gonna sneak it in there somewhere. Shit. And then we talked. Oh, okay, cool. We talked earlier about people who tell on themselves, and a lot of times people can tell on themselves as far as being an asshole because they think that they're joking, you know, and it's not funny to the person receiving the joke. So if you're always around somebody where it's just a joke, it's just a joke, where everything that comes out of their mouth is offensive, this is the way to handle some of those people.
We made a video about what to say and how to call someone out when they are constantly making jokes at your expense, whether it's throwing shade, saying something condescending, or masking how they really feel behind a joke. The video really resonated, which I'm so happy about, but I got a lot of comments saying, well, what do you say if someone says you're so sensitive, or it's not funny if I have to explain the joke? I wanted to share some additional responses to responses like that. And if you're new here, I'm Well with Rael, your communication coach, here to help you socialize and articulate and advocate for yourself with kindness, class, and confidence. So if someone says, you're so sensitive, you know I was just making a joke, you can say, how am I being sensitive if I'm only asking you to explain the joke? You can also say, that's a pretty big generalization, don't you think? Now, if someone says, it's not funny if I have to explain the joke, you can say, interesting, I think a joke that's truly meant to be funny doesn't need to be explained at all. Or you can say, well, we clearly have very different ideas of what funny is then. Finally, if someone says, you just don't have a sense of humor, you can say, it's hard to have a sense of humor about something that isn't actually meant to be funny. The other party is going to get defensive and might try to attack you personally by saying you're too sensitive or you don't have a sense of humor, and responding in a calm, matter-of-fact way will continue to call them out. Hold your ground, stay calm, and trust me, they will think twice before messing with you again next time.
Good advice.
Okay.
Somebody else is about to get bounced here. There's two more things I want to talk about before we get to the whole thing at hand. Iceman, what is going on, bro? Nowadays, people are talking a lot about others' bodies when a lot of times they look like a sack of milk themselves. And there's some people that, I don't know, there's people that are heavy that don't want help because they might be in better shape than you. So basically, don't make any generalizations. Don't make any fucking comments like this example right here from a personal trainer.
Wait, but if you're doing the thing that I'm about to talk about, cut it out. I was at the county clerk's office filing paperwork, and as soon as the person behind the desk found out that I help people lose weight, they were like, oh, you have to help out our coworker. He needs it so badly. And my response to that, as it always is, was, does he want it? And she ignored it and went and grabbed him from whatever he was doing and was saying, hey, we have a customer that wants to talk to you. And I said, no, I didn't ask to talk to you. I'm going to make you look like the asshole if you do this, by the way. And he shook my hand very polite and he said, no, I'm not looking for anything like that right now. And she pipes in and says, oh yeah, he does. He eats Snickers every morning. If you've been here for a while, you know you have Snickers anytime you want. This guy wasn't even like obese or anything. He had a couple extra pounds on him, but she was judging him solely based on the food that he had that morning. And that's unfortunately the product of toxic diet culture that makes you think you can't have Snickers or anything that tastes good if you want to be healthy. But the healthiest thing you can do for yourself or for others is mind your own fucking business, because when you do this to someone and you throw them under the goddamn bus in their place of work where they can't walk away from you, you're going to push them further away from making the progress that you're hoping they'll make. I do not give advice to people who don't ask for it, and I don't want you giving my advice to anyone who doesn't ask you for it. If they ask you for it, and you happen to know where to find me, let them know where to find me. Whether or not you mean well does not matter, nor does it come across. You look like an asshole. Stop commenting on people's weights. Stop commenting on people's diets. Stop being an asshole. Be kind to yourself. It might start to rub off on others. This is really...
I love that.
I love that too.
A lot when I was a trainer.
Oh, yes.
Just someone, oh, I know somebody that could use your services. And I'm like, give them my number, but I'm not going to call them saying, hey, so-and-so thinks you need to lose weight. You know what I mean? some people are just so fucking rude. And the people that are usually, you know, the ones that are advising that you need to lose weight need to be in there with them too half the time.
Right.
She's getting a class in wise assery. Yes, she was. I'm assuming you're talking about that today, right, Kev?
No, the last video.
Last video. Her name is Inspiration. Oh, yeah. Let's see. I must say, if my homeboys didn't bust my balls, I wouldn't have lost weight. It literally saved my life. That's true. But you know what? You got to know the people like that. Like, you can't just be like a coworker. Cause yeah, like these people could bust my balls, you know, and say, hey, man, poke my gut and shit like that. It's going to hurt a little. But they can tell me, like, it's probably time to start trimming down a little bit. And I'm going to cry a little bit. But then I'm gonna go lose weight. But you know, if some motherfucker up the street says that, like, I might hit him in the mouth.
Right.
Fuck your advice.
You know, and honestly, that guy that they're talking about, he had the Snickers every morning. I know this isn't healthy, you know, if you want to talk about healthy, but sometimes my blood sugar drops. Like, I will be just fine, and all of a sudden my blood sugar just plummets, and I break out in sweat. My whole back is clammy. I feel like shit. I'm shaky. And I have to have Snickers or some type of piece of candy or something that helps bring up my blood sugar quickly. Who knows? He may be in that same situation. He's not making the best choice of what can help him. But if he feels that blood sugar plummet like that, you need something immediate. So he might be doing that.
You don't necessarily have to have diabetes either. I went to school with a girl who had hypoglycemia.
Yeah, and I don't have hypoglycemia either. It just happens.
Yeah,
sometimes it happens. Yeah.
Well, it's just you ran out of fuel. You know, it's basically like trying to run on fumes. The car will go a little ways, but it'll be chugging and farting all the way.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that I've talked to that do like the 3-day cleanse or whatever, and just I know myself, I wouldn't be able to do it just because I know that my body wouldn't respond well to it.
Talk about diarrhea, boy. That'd be like a colonoscopy prep. Like, no.
Yeah. Well, one of my friends at work, she's just fasting for 3 straight days. Like, no.
3?
I can't.
Maybe 1.
Do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that 3. That's
a little excessive to me.
Unless she has a very slow stomach. Because I have a slow stomach, so like if I don't eat all day for 1 day, it's not that big a deal because I still have reserves and shit. Now, if it goes into 2 and 3 days, you know, I might start withering away a bit and, you know, getting a little cloudy headed. And I remember last time I was in New York, we were walking around looking for a falafel because I finally got hungry, and it was 9 p.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah, and everything was closed
in Manhattan.
Really?
And everything was closed. Like every place we walked up to, it looked like they were open. You tug on the door, and then you look at the hours, and like they shut down at 9. I was like, I thought New York City never slept.
Never sleep. Yeah.
We walked to Times Square. Like, this means nothing to you distance wise because it was from the Roosevelt to Times Square. So kids out there, if you got your Google Maps, go ahead and type in Roosevelt Hotel, New York City, and then Times Square. That's how far we walked on an empty stomach. When we got back home, I was 155 pounds.
Because you didn't eat while you were there? Did you just not have an appetite?
All that damn walking around.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
You know, it was just, it burned off all that shit.
Yep.
Yeah, Kenny couldn't even find a deli. It was actually one of those, it was a falafel truck that we found, like falafel and hot dog trucks. And so, you know, we were limited to either or, and I picked the falafel, and it was a good pick because that shit was good because they had that hot, like, no, it wasn't a falafel.
No,
I'm sorry. It was a gyro.
It was
They sold falafels too, but it was a gyro.
It's so good.
And they had this like hot sauce that was like, I can't even describe the heat because it wasn't enough to make you like, it made your scalp itch a little bit. You know, it was like that hot, but it was just good. And then we just walked around Times Square and, you know, all the places where they dropped the ball and shit, and right in front of 30 Rock and the, what is that? Which Lo was here.
Yeah,
what the hell is that park where they do the skating and they put up the Christmas tree? Rockefeller Center.
Yep.
There you go.
Think long enough, you get it. My exercise routine. Whew, not very existent lately. Normally it's free weights, light weights. I just don't, bands, stuff like that. I'm 46. I don't need to be benching 300 pounds anymore. Just stuff that's safe for your joints.
Yeah. I was going to say, sorry to interrupt. Last year we did a challenge where it was
push-up challenge.
Yeah, push-up challenge. How many push-ups did we need?
We had to have 5,000 in by the end of the month, I believe.
Yeah.
And
we did it. So it was 100, at least 100 per day. I thought it was 3,000 because it was 100 per day that we had.
Yeah, it was 3,000. That's right.
Wow.
I made it to 5,000.
Yeah.
I went over because I made it by the 20th day. And I was like, well, I could just keep going. But, and honestly, your own body sometimes is the best workout you can have. Like, just what the fuck is going on over here?
That's what. Sorry, I don't know.
Know your job. That threw me way off. Only y'all on YouTube can see that. Just caught out of the corner of my eye.
That's.
Do you know who that was? Okay, I'm getting rid of it.
Okay,
I'll do it.
Yeah, for those, it was basically like, grow your dick for so many inches, all that kind of shit. Spam a lot.
Yes.
Man, that threw me off. What was I just talking
about? I was like, wait. What are you doing?
Your body weight exercises.
Yeah.
So squats, like using no weights, just see how many squats you can do properly. And by properly, I mean, when you squat, your legs should look like it's a 90 degree almost, but drop your ass. So that's what you're thinking about dropping. Think about, like, especially if you're a lady, sitting on the toilet, but that toilet's so gross you don't want your ass to touch it.
Yep.
Just like that. But have your feet angled slightly outward like this. Make sure you're on your entire foot, but your weight's back on your heels, and then just come down like, toilet gross, come back up. Back down, gross, toilet. And then push-ups. I mean, really, if you just do those two, you're gonna be in shape. If you do like even 50 every day, sounds like a lot, but it's not like I'm dropping down and doing 100 at a time. I might do 20 here, 30 there, just throughout the day. As long as I hit 300 by the end of the day, that's all that matters.
It's also really important to stretch too, especially the older you get. You don't want to stretch when your muscles are cold. So
warm up first.
Yeah, it's not best to stretch right when you wake up because your muscles are cold at that point. But we go to a chiropractor at least once or twice a week. And our chiropractor was showing us this new stretch where you stand up straight, put your arms to your sides, put your hands in a fist, and then slowly put your head to your chest, and then just do a slow circle, just as slow as possible. And you can feel it all across your shoulders. And it's amazing because not only can you tell where your muscles are really tight and need to have more work on it, but especially when you're in front of a computer all day long like I am, it really, really helps.
Hey, Sexy Kenny, make sure you can do the two arms with proper form before you go to that.
Yes.
Because then all you got to do is just lean over, literally. But if you're doing it with improper form, you're going to fall every time, or you're going to jam your shoulder up.
You can tear your labrum.
Yeah, I had a torn labrum for 3 years. Where's my little thing? Hang on, make sure that. Take two. I had a torn labrum for about 3 years and didn't really know it. I thought I had like just a worn away. Damn, my lips today. They're all moist.
Worn away.
I thought it was a worn away, like a rotator cuff, maybe AC joint. But they took the MRIs, and man, they showed me it was just like somebody just ripped it. He was like, "Man, I can't believe you didn't realize that this is what it was." And I was like, "Well, I've had it for a couple of years, because I'm at that point right now in my life that if I woke up pain free, it would feel wrong. Like,
yeah,
it's not wrong. It would feel weird. It's like, it's almost at this point is how I know I'm okay. It's because there's always something that hurts from all the shit that I've done, falling, hitting my head, and throwing people, getting thrown, getting kicked, kicking. all kind of stuff. And that was before I got into like wrestling and martial arts. Man, y'all slow. Come on. That's a joke. You missed it. Anyways, let's go real quick to station identification. When we come back, we'll talk about all that disgusting shit. And again, if you're watching and you're a little sensitive to cautionary tales of rape, sexual assault, abuse, any of that, it's coming up after this break. I just want you to know we are going to be talking about the Vince McMahon thing. If you don't know what it is, I'd Google it right quick, and we'll talk about it when we get back. For those of you watching the Trainwreck Live, we are currently simulcasting on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube at Jaded Zen. YouTube viewers, click the subscribe button in the lower right corner of your screen, and boom, you're in the cool car. The Trainwreck is property of Jaded Zen Entertainment, copyright 2024, all rights reserved. All right, so bumper music. Anyway, so do you know what's going on with this, Jay?
A little bit.
Okay.
I know.
I'll start with this article because it gets right down to the nuts and bolts of it.
Okay.
And then I have a 67-page court document. Jesus Christ. Yes, the case document for this entire incident. So, for those of you who don't know, Vince McMahon, who was CEO of the WWE, then ousted, and then CEO of TKO Endeavor, and then ousted again because apparently there has been sex trafficking allegations. Here's Dima. I'll introduce you in a moment. It's too bad it's not Jesse because I got his music ready. So for those of you who don't know, Vince McMahon, who did shave that disgusting mustache, apparently after these allegations went down to deperverize himself a little bit. Just want you to know that this is the victim. Her name is Janelle Grant. She's an itty bitty little thing, very young. And as we go along, the monsters that are involved, we'll pull up their pictures so you remember how tiny and fragile this little girl is. And then we'll talk about some of you assholes that had some shit to say about that. But in the meantime, we have all the way out in Champaign, Illinois, out at the University. You heard his words last week, but you ain't seen his face yet. He is Daryl Miles, my old high school, college, everything else buddy. What's going on, man?
Great introduction. That's very, very well spoken, and you should probably fire your writer.
You definitely need to fire the comment gatekeeper. I'm fucking with you. So I'm gonna go with these claim after claim first.
Let me put up this one comment first before we go into that from John.
Yeah, it's completely a shit show, literally. So I can't remember what that shit's called, scatophilia or some shit like that. There's shit involved. It's gross. All right, so Janelle Grant alleges McMahon, quote, dangled career-making life and life-changing promises in front of her. And in several meetings, he greeted her, quote, in his underwear, which I bet were tighty-whities, unquote, as well as allegedly touching her and, quote, repeatedly asking for hugs. It's not as bad yet. McMahon, it is claimed, also extensively shared intimate details of his personal life. Okay, we're not so bad so far. The plaintiff alleges in March 2020, McMahon began sharing sexually explicit images and videos of her, including with WWE production staff and a, quote, world-famous athlete and former UFC heavyweight champion with whom WWE was actively trying to sign a new contract. By the way, that guy looks just like this.
Oh.
Yeah. So number 3, and this is where it gets gross, y'all. Grant alleged McMahon defecated on her during a threesome on May 9th, 2020, and, quote, commanded her to continue pleasuring the other man while McMahon took a shower before returning. Grant says she had feces in her hair and running down her back. Grant claims the encounter lasted more than 90 minutes while she remained covered in McMahon's filth. So we're going to stop right there. We're going to talk about that shit. Because first of all, especially all y'all out there, what's nastier, the dude that shit or the dude that stayed behind for 90 minutes in the shit? I mean, either way is disgusting, but Dutch Mantel has said himself that McMahon has a shit fetish and fart shit, all disgusting, anything come out your ass fetish. Thus the kiss my ass things a few years ago. But you know, number one, again, like I showed her a picture of that little tiny girl. Can you imagine having to go through? So what I'm gonna get at with all these assholes out there that are saying, but she took the money. No, she didn't take all of it because she was promised $3 million to sign an NDA. She only got $1 million before the board caught on that, you're using company funds for this shit. And that's what took them down. Mm-hmm. So they reneged on $2 million. And we'll get to this later on, but essentially he threatened to ruin her life, her career, everything about her. So even if she gets the $3 million, this is with her the rest of her life.
Traumatized.
No matter what she does, no matter who she sees, no matter where she goes, she's going to have this image of these large men in power shitting on her, passing her around, passing her sexually explicit photos around to everybody. So when she walks by, everybody knows who she is and sniggles. She's got to deal with that. On top of the assholes that are coming after her saying, like, you took the money, defending Vince, essentially. People, you know what? After being with Kenny for so long, you learn that especially if your heroes came from the Memphis area, your gods are terrible. They're terrible, terrible people. Yes.
It does.
Daryl, your lip is trembling. What you got, man?
Yeah, I mean the sad part about it. So there's a lot to it, right? So the sad part about it, in my mind,
there's layers.
When this first came out, you were thinking that it was a woman that was a little bit more established in her career, right? That may have agreed to do some things, and then some things got out of hand, and then kind of went out of control. But when I saw that picture, she's just a baby, right?
She's like a secretary,
and we don't know how much is true and how much isn't, right? But at the same time, if all these allegations or most of these allegations are true, it makes you sick to your stomach to think of the fact that he targeted her, he put her in position, and then slowly started grooming her in position where now you start doing things and now you can't backtrack because just like you said, she's in this stuff is going to stay with her and she's in this company. And so now when she leaves, why did you leave? You were close to Vince McMahon, you were close to the head of the company, the CEO, and then all of a sudden you left and you got to sit up and try to explain that on your resume why you got this gap where you left. And so it's just, but at the same time, Jay, you've watched that product for a long time. And for the longest time I used to say to people that I thought there was something off with Vince. I mean, I always thought he was low-key racist to begin with, because of all the hard stereotypes that he was doing.
Saba, Simba, and all this.
Yeah, and then you've talked about how his track record with his world champions, minorities were never seen as what in the business being as good guys. They were always heels. They never held the strap in that way, and so you kind of thought that, but and you knew he was kind of an a-hole. But that's usually how that business goes when those people are making billions of dollars. You got to kind of be.
I think it stops at Ole Anderson level.
Yeah, you gotta. You got to be a jerk at some point to try to you got to make some cutthroat decisions, right? And so I just what it really does.
John, we'll get to that.
It really makes you think about some of the other stuff that was green light for him because all creative went through him and the signs were there, and we just kind of chalked it up to, well, that's just them trying to compete with the Monday Night Wars, and that's just them trying to push the envelope and things of that nature. And it just, it really makes you sad, because it's like, how many people really, if they look back on us and really believe the things that they were hearing, would have actually felt like they would have been able to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know, and I tell you what, I told Kenny this, I told Bobby, I remember being 10 years old, 10 or 11, hearing about the Rita Marie thing. For those of you who don't know, Rita Chatterton, who was a female referee in the WWE from like 85 to 87-ish, accused Vince of raping her in the limo and promised her all these, you know, you're going to be famous, you're going to be on magazine covers, and basically she was reduced to nothing. And only two real witnesses. One was a prelim wrestler named Mario Mancini, and Andre the Giant. Andre's gone. So there's only one person, and, you know, so people are questioning actually what happened with him. But there was a lot of, where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm not going to repeat any names, but I've heard secondhand stories about, let me word this carefully. A lot of the shit you see people say on Dark Side of the Ring, they knew better, and they knew at the time.
Right.
That's all I'll say about that.
Yep.
Because this was told directly, and I've heard recordings.
But, you know, the thing about this girl, the victim, is, you know, she may have had a relationship with Vince or whatever the case may be, and he may have been giving her hush-hush money. But I highly doubt she knew or even had a fathomed thought that it would go as far as it did.
You know, the prince can disguise himself.
You know, I mean,
Prince of Darkness.
Because if I was
John
having a relationship with somebody and they're like, I'm going to pay you off, so it's hush hush, nobody says anything, I wouldn't expect it to go as far as it went.
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking you just share some secrets, or you got a tiny dangling, don't want nobody to know.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
something like that.
But I mean, usually that's how that kind of stuff starts, right? It's just,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, you know, you think about any of your indulgences, right? It's just one cookie. And then next thing you look at, you ate the whole entire rack of Oreos.
Absolutely.
And then,
Yep.
you know, and so that's really the sad part about it, is that, you know, how much, that's why it's like, it was so strange, because how much of that was her going, okay, I'm okay with this, where we're going. And then she's like, okay, we're crossing the line. I don't really think I can do this. And then it's like, I'm past the point of no return at this point, because now I'm kind of sunk. And it's just, and that's the part, the manipulation. And then that's, yeah, I mean, that's really the saddest part. It's like this man sat up here and manipulated this young woman into this position. And it's just sad, man. It's just sad.
As far as what John was saying with Ashley Massaro, I don't know if she was involved in this, but I do know for a fact, because Paul London was dating her at the time. This came out of Paul London's own mouth. And I saw the court documents. She was raped in Iraq by a soldier. And when Vince was told, he said, I don't give a shit.
Oh, wow.
Because he was trying to get after that. And when he couldn't, it's like, well, I guess somebody got her.
That is disgusting.
Yeah.
That
And
is
for those of you that
disgusting.
don't know, she killed herself last year, 2 years ago, sadly.
Oh my gosh.
George had asked about the rumors about Pat Patterson and little boys. Unsubstantiated, but his the inner circle enjoyed the company of little boys. Pat enjoyed the fellas, you know, and I don't know. I know he enjoyed talent. And I know a lot of people who got to the positions they are in right now are because of that. And I'm not exposing any real big secret. I mean, this is like the worst kept secret in the world right now. And it's a microcosm of entertainment, because we look at the shit with Cat Williams is talking about with Diddy and all that, and people are substantiating this Diddy shit.
Yeah.
You know, there's 3 or 4 people saying, yeah, I saw, you know, homeboy in the bathroom on his knees, and, just all these people that got these spots. And so sometimes it makes you wonder if it was talent or if it was just like Weinstein.
It's not what you know, it's
who you know. Yeah. And so it's like when some people, when you're like, well, why aren't they at a certain level? They're only making such and such and such and such. It's probably because they had like morals and they had talent, but they also had scruples and morals.
Yeah.
So but like I said, it's just sad. How many multi-billion-dollar corporations is this happening? Exactly. Just like regular Fortune 500 companies. I mean, I guess it's not regular, but just on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, that's true too.
That's
John.
what I was saying, John. I just stopped.
Yeah. But continuing, so for text messages, the court documents included screenshots of images allegedly sent from McMahon to Grant. On May 11, 2020, a long message appears. So this is like right in the COVID time and shit. A long message appears to show McMahon playing out a fantasy, writing about the prospect of group sex with Grant and other men while she is tied up. The message continues. The next morning, and there's a sick because everything's misspelled. Next morning, you'll be a little sore, but you're still going to want more. A subsequent message appears to show McMahon bragging about his encounters with Grant and sharing sexually explicit content with WWE crew members, while also urging her to fulfill his fantasy with 12 men.
Oh, God.
Why would what?
I don't know. I mean, the power that you can spread it amongst.
Yeah, I mean that's man. I'm having a hard time wrapping my mind around. Like, how people kind of do some stuff, and you're like, oh, I can kind of see the logic. I can go down this trail like a little bit. I take a left. I can see how you got there. Some of the stuff, I'm like, man, I don't even. Where'd you get this map from? How did you get there? I don't even.
Right.
Well, that's part of the reason. Well, and I'm going to repeat something Dutch said. That's part of the reason why I do believe her, because I don't think she's clever enough to come up with a story this detailed with this much, I hate to say shit, that can like come back on her. Because I mean, you know how foolish she would look if she was like fucking around. I mean, this is big shit.
Well, having the text messages is evidence enough that she's not lying about a portion of it.
Yeah.
I see, and what they're saying is you can do that. I don't remember what it's called, but you can put like anybody's number that you're calling from or some shit like that, and there's ways to manipulate it. But again, I don't think she has
that's why
mentality
directly to the.
And I feel like they would have checked that before.
I'm sure it's been into.
No, I mean, there's probably enough. There's enough sightings with her, with McMahon, enough sightings with her and other men. There's probably enough witnesses to be able to collaborate some of the stuff that she's saying. Like, are all the details true? I don't know, but I think there's probably enough to connect some of these dots to say that some of this stuff. I mean, like you're saying, like you can't sit up in a situation get this detailed and none of it be true.
Right.
And you get this far, and
I'm a creative writer, and I could not come up with this scenario. I would throw up writing it, never mind. As I put on chapstick, just like a brother. All right. Okay, so number 5, no means yes. That's always a bad idea. The plaintiff alleges McMahon and former WWE head of talent relations, John Laurinaitis, for those of you who don't know, Johnny Ace, sexually assaulted her in Laurinaitis' office at WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. According to court documents, the office door was locked and the two men cornered her and pulled her in between them, forcibly touching her. Grant says she begged them to stop, but they forced themselves on her, claiming McMahon and Laurinaitis took turns restraining her and said, no means yes, and take it, bitch.
Yeah.
Huh.
Wow.
Again, I've heard various stories that sound awful like this along the trail. And again, the people that tell you all this in public will say, I just heard this, but I don't know if it's true or not. Oops. Motherfucker. Grant told to make sexual content for WWE star. This is the former UFC heavyweight champion they were desperately trying to sign back to the WWE. Couldn't imagine who that could be.
Locke Kresner?
Something like that. It is alleged on or around July 12, 2021, McMahon ordered Grant to create, quote, personalized sexual content for an unnamed WWE superstar. After sharing the photos, McMahon allegedly said that the wrestler, quote, likes what he sees. Around 2 weeks later, McMahon is said to have flown the WWE superstar to Connecticut for what he told Grant was a, quote, business dinner, but also a sexual encounter in McMahon's condo. However, the wrestler did not engage because he was, quote, too intoxicated and had to be taken back to the plane. That sounds a little dangerous in and of itself. Let's see.
Yeah, John, exactly. Waiting for other women that worked for the company, both in the office and talent, to come forward. That's exactly right. You know,
there's going to be where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yep.
And it just takes one to get her started, you know. And as you said, there are two other people that are involved in, you know, something like, all right, Exotic King, you're out. Nice to have you, you piece of shit.
I also banned Oh No, It's Bono as well.
See, I love this that the trolls are so hard up for Kenny that they follow me to my show to talk about Kenny on my show, where Kenny is probably in bed right now.
right.
He catches bits and pieces, but you know, the rule of my show, you cannot insult my guests, you cannot insult the host, and you cannot insult Bob or Kenny. Period. I'm throwing Dutch in there too because he's a good dude.
Yep.
So no insulting Dutch.
So yeah, Sable.
Oh yeah, I'm wondering what Sable is thinking right now. She's like, "Oh, this flat ass ain't getting it for you no more." I'm terrible. Okay, and this is where it starts getting even worse here. She suffered sexual injuries. The complainant detailed several sexual injuries she says were suffered from encounters with McMahon, including, quote, bleeding and pain from forceful use of sex toys. Grant alleges she pleaded with McMahon to cease further sexual activity, but the number of encounters increased, as did McMahon's physical aggression towards them. McMahon was said to be, quote, most aggressive when using certain toys named after male WWE wrestlers and performers. It is alleged he also showed, quote, an infatuation with pretending that other men, namely certain WWE talent, were in the room with her during sexual encounters. Yeah, I always wondered about that. I've heard some people kind of jump the line because of such activities. But yeah, if that's not gross enough, rape threat. In one text allegedly sent on an unspecified date, a contact named, quote, Vince, and Grant's phone appeared to be sending a menacing threat. Do not knock on the door, because if I see you, I will rape you in the hallway, it read. That's
What?
Iceman, I'm gonna get to that too. Grant succumbed to NDA pressure. Grant says McMahon's wife, Linda, discovered their relationship in January 2022. She knew before that. In the aftermath, McMahon allegedly told the staffer her time with the WWE was over and that he, quote, wanted her to sign an NDA to ensure her silence on, among other things, his personal misconduct. The complainant alleges McMahon, quote, put her under immense pressure to sign in the following days, warning her of reputational ruin from the explicit content he had curated of her. That's a lot of fancy words there. Grant says she, quote, succumbed to the pressure and signed the NDA in exchange for payments. She alleges McMahon stopped making the payments before the agreed amount was paid. See, that's where you fuck up. You try to get cheap on people. I saw Alfred Hitchcock like that. Dude was trying to get a hitman to kill his wife. He wanted $5,000. Dude talked him down to $35,000. Wife woke up, I guess. So at the end of it, he went up there, thought the wife was dead. He turned around, dude shot him because the wife went ahead and offered him the whole $5,000. Being cheap, man. That's kill you every time. McMahon should be getting library books handed to him from me, scumbag. Yep. John Paul is a prison library. What do you call him? Librarian. I was going to say curator. And number 10. Oh yeah, I was gonna get to that. You think Russo was involved back in the day, or even knew? Apparently, he and Vince used to talk about Sable. I do think he knew. I don't think you could be that close to Vince as is Bruce and as is a lot of other people and not at least have an inkling this is going on, because there's a paper trail, you know, and there's people in the office building. There's cameras everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of makes me wonder, as much as I hate to say, how much did Jim Ross know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, how much did a lot of these people that you think are happy-go-lucky, like the nicest people in the world, how much did they know and not say anything?
Yeah, just turn a blind eye.
I'll tell you, Paul London's talking. Ronda Rousey, as much as I don't like her, she's talking.
Oh, is she?
Oh, she's talking hard. Oh, yes. She's talking hard.
Wow.
Yes.
Good.
I'm trying to think of who else. Renee Dupree, which, by the way, shout out to his show, because this is how popular I'm getting. I was watching Renee Dupree's show, and lo and behold, what did I see? Shout out to Coletrane. Another show.
Fast.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't want to lose my place because I was already losing. Okay, Grant says that even after she was pushed out of the company and muzzled with an NDA, McMahon allegedly continued to try to exploit her. She claims he, quote, attempted to traffic her to a WWE star who would be in New York City for a live event and a TV taping in March of 2020. So I'm going to pull up these complaints too, because like I said, this is 67 pages, so it's going to take 2 shows to get through all this, and we got enough material to do it. You want to come on next week too, Daryl?
Sure.
I was about to say, break the neck over it now.
Nah, man, I'm trying to hit the mute button and stuff. I'm slowing the trigger. It's late out here, man. Shoot.
I do the same thing at work all the time. They ask me a question, I'm like, what? I can't figure it out.
And, you know, this is 67 pages, so I haven't got a chance to read it all. So after I get off, I don't know if I'm printing it or just keep it on my computer, because that's a lot of paper. But I'm going to read all the way through it and highlight some shit, so that way we can really get into it next week. But a few more things I know about the person in question, as far as the shit encounter who stayed for the 90 minutes and continued to pump while shit was dribbling down her back, was none other than Mr. Laurinaitis. Yeah, imagine this guy. He has a really scratchy voice too, so imagine this guy coming at you telling, "Oh yeah, you want some of this dick?"
People power. That was definitely people power.
And another thing that a lot of people don't know, that's the Bella stepdaddy.
That's right.
They issued a statement.
Yeah, a little that PR statement.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah, y'all saw some shit a long fucking time ago, and you knew. George just now asked how the Bellas feel about the. Yeah, Google it. They put out a little mild statement.
Yeah, it was
PC.
Like 5 sentences long.
But yes, their mammy is married to that ugly son bitch. And furthering the family line, he is the grandfather to Daniel Bryan's kids. Yep. So I mean, a lot of people get disappointed there, Johnny Ace. Right. A lot of people. And the other person that was allegedly involved in some of the encounters, but definitely involved in the picture encounters, is the executive producer who just quit not too long ago, Kevin Dunn. This guy.
Ugh. Oh my God.
Who can open a can of beer for you without even using his fingers. and there's high suspicion Bruce is involved too.
Really? Yeah, that's who.
Because they are 2 peas in a pod. Yeah. Like they are close. Like stay at his house close. So there's no way you weren't involved. Especially a chubby little dude, probably can't get no ass as it is. I'm sure you were involved in some of that shit. I saw this and started to think about all the accusations made by Ashley Massaro. And John, you're on the right track. I don't know if you heard me earlier, where she was raped in Iraq by a soldier. And when Paul London, who was dating her at the time, told McMahon, he said, "Who gives a shit?" So that's a shoot. And to prove, have you ever that overbite? I'm telling you, man, he could do that. Get that motherfucker over for you real quick. And then you got to hang them on your walls.
Some of the beers that you.
Man, that made me lose my train of thought. Let's see. I saw Bruce Pritchard. What was the last thing I said? Back me up here. My rewind didn't work.
Shoot, what we were
talking about the ugly dude with the teeth. And how
Kevin Dunn said. So, Jay, real quick, the timeline that is like kind of crazy about this. So all this stuff, keep in mind, like the majority of this stuff was happening. Well, the major aspect of this was happening towards the back end of like 2019 and going into COVID and lockdown. So like all this major dirt was happening as the country was shutting down.
Right.
On that. And then you fast forward, you're probably going to try to do this next week, but you fast forward to some allegations came out, and there was another woman that came forward before this, and they were like, okay, here's these allegations.
3 in total.
Yeah. And so he stepped away for a year. Stephanie went on a show and told the company line and we miss you, daddy, and all that kind of stuff like that. And then you fast forward, and then all of a sudden she just abruptly, she's like, I'm out.
Yep.
Sell my stuff, deuces, I'm out.
And then McMahon came back soon after.
He came back soon after that. And so what I'm leading with that is that there are some things that I think that the people knew, and there's some things that people heard but didn't exactly know what was true and what wasn't. And like, there's part of me, the optimist in me, right, that's going to sit here and think and hope that at least Stephanie, on that side, did not know the extent of everything that was happening.
Yeah.
She may have known that her dad was being a
philandering.
Yes. Thank you for the edit. May have been doing that stuff, but like I think what really happened is that she found out when the allegations and stuff were starting to happen, and when they're getting on track to get ready to look at trying to sell this company, that all this stuff started coming out. She's like, I don't want anything to do with you at all, and stepped away. And she sold her stuff, man.
Yeah,
she like, I don't want
every piece of WWE is just gone.
Yeah,
didn't Shane step away from?
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. Shane was gone for a few years.
Yes,
and it was said because he didn't want to be like his dad, because his dad kept trying to bring him into these ventures, and he wasn't going to rat Pops out, but he also didn't want to be associated with that in any way, shape, or form. So that's the reason there was a falling out back then. I don't know what agreement was made, because I think he just had a talent contract when he came back. He didn't have any kind of decision making or anything like that. And they always said that the rift was because Vince thought that he had terrible ideas. And now you're kind of seeing that maybe it was the other way around. And this has been corroborated, goddamn, that initially when Stephanie was pregnant, Vince initially pitched that they make Shane the father in storyline. They both turned that down hard.
What?
And then his next idea was, well, how about me?
That is disgusting.
Vince would father his daughter's child in that storyline.
Yeah, because you turned down your brother fathering your child. How about me fathering your child and I'm your father? That is so beyond disgusting.
Yes, I mean, can you imagine being Stephanie and just like looking at your dad like,
I mean, and but like I said, that's the thing. Like, they were fighting for these rating wars, and like creative stuff gets crazy, right? They do these storylines. I mean, you've seen the stuff with Mark Henry and what's her name,
Mae Young.
Yeah,
he made his debut at that last WrestleMania. Remember when he helped beat Sami Zayn?
Yeah, I mean,
it was a hand.
Yeah, but I mean, like, so this stuff can be far fetched, and so like, how much of this is him living, like him telling you who he is, but living in the farce of this reality of storytelling,
right?
Like
basically putting out what he wants to fantasize about.
Man.
Yeah.
Because you hear people like, I just saw the stuff on social media about the people like, well, I'm just joking. You guys just did it. That's what it was. I'm just joking. And they keep saying that stuff. I'm just joking. And here he is doing these storylines. It's like, oh no, it's just make believe. I was just, just thinking of some stuff that maybe we could, spark some eyebrows. It's sweet. Let's get some people in here and get some stuff done. Like, but now you look back on some of the stuff he's doing, like even some of the bra and panties matches, some of the other stuff that he was doing that he was
doing. God damn. I am losing it tonight. Gerald.
Oh.
Pat and Gerald, when they would have them in dresses and falling into each other's crotches and shit.
Yeah, man. So
it's just bizarre.
And it's just again, it's what is the old adage? People will tell you who they are. You just got to listen.
Yep.
And it's one of those things that and he was telling you who he was this whole entire time.
We were too dazzled by the bullshit to see it.
Yeah, man. You just like, okay, this is business. This is what you got to do to try to. I mean, it's a TV show. Like, there's weird stuff that happens on TV shows. So why would I think that this would be any different? But apparently, my man was fantasy booking for real.
Yeah, yeah. People talk about Tony Khan doing that shit, but at least he ain't that I know of. At least ain't nothing like that.
I mean, you don't know, man. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You talk about, again, this is kind of rooted in a Hollywood thing, right? So Weinstein, and then who was the producer for like Full House and
I know who you're talking about, but I can't. There was that Nickelodeon dude that was Chuck too.
Yes. And so there's a lot of allegations of stuff that he was doing too, with those young actresses and stuff. And so it's just
Jeff Franklin.
Yeah. And so, like, when you start listening to this stuff and really start digging back into it and listen to folks and their stories, like, I don't know if 100% of this is true, but there is some smoke, there is some fire.
Yeah. And also take a real hard listen at the jokes that are told, like at the Oscars and shit like that, because Seth MacFarlane tried to tell us about Harvey Weinstein before everybody else did, because he made that joke, the winner doesn't have to pretend to like Harvey Weinstein anymore, or something like that. Doesn't have to pretend to be attracted to him. And everybody's like, huh? And then like a couple of months later, that shit came out. I was like, oh, he knew. He knew, and he tried to tell us, but he didn't just outright say the shit because that could be liable if they got good enough lawyers and shit. That's the problem, is fucking law.
That's actually one show, Family Guy, that I was thinking of. There are so many stories within Family Guy that are like mind blowing. That
they're so intelligent, yet they reach down to the lowest human level,
and they tell you the truth, but it's in a cartoon, so people are like, oh, it's okay, but they really do break it down, and
if you notice, they start on like one position and then they try it out, show you why that position won't work, and then they show you the other side, but they trick you because you're dumb. A lot of America
watching a cartoon, so it's all made up.
Yeah, I mean, people just like car crashes and shit like that. That's why we're a train wreck. Everybody loves watching that shit. They can't sue for slander if it's true.
Yeah,
that's true, Iceman. But there's also good enough lawyers that can put a lot of that shit under the rug and make it look untrue.
And twist your words just.
And then there's the other of appeals.
You got to prove it too. You got to prove it.
Appeals. If they're rich enough, they can appeal you out, and you have no more money, you have no more standings, and technically they win. They still have their money, and you're broke.
Yep.
And then that scandal will quietly go away like it does for every other billionaire. But this ain't going away anytime soon. This is, along with the Cat Williams shit, the Diddy shit, the Weinstein shit, this is like, what else is going to come out?
Yeah.
I'm trying to, I bet you Dana White got something going on. Allegedly, I'm not going to say he does, but he just seems like the type that would. Anybody that's just got that asshole gene, and I can't remember who said it earlier. I think it was Iceman said some a lot of the billionaires show sociopathic behavior because they don't mind stepping on people to get over. That's why I'll probably never be a billionaire, because I'd have to cut some deal with the devil that it's not worth it for me.
Yeah, morals.
I want a couple million, but Iceman, you don't know. Okay, man. After this show's over,
Yeah, if you got my
it's
Club
a Shannon
Shay.
Sharp show, and look for just type Cat Williams Shannon Sharp. It'll come up. It's almost 2 hours long. Take the 2 hours and listen, man. Go ahead and I don't know if you puff, but go ahead, lean back, light one, and yeah, your eyes will be open wide, your mouth will be hanging open. And shit.
His shit got real.
He's one intelligent person. I knew that he was a smart guy, but I didn't realize that he literally is a genius.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
You know,
and he remembers everything.
He has that eidetic memory.
Mm-hmm.
I know Eddie Griffin is super smart too. I don't think he graduated high school, but he is. If you really listen to his whole concert, the entire concert, he's teaching you a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then of course he wraps up brilliantly at the end, just like Dave Chappelle. Dave
Mm-hmm.
Chappelle's teaching you shit as you go along. If you can weave through the joke and find the lesson, a lot of people just get mad.
And he always circles back to the beginning.
Yeah, he always comes right back to the beginning.
Yep.
It's masterful. You know, I wish I could do. I need to do a little bit more practice. Daryl, do you ever do the master classes? Have you ever ordered
that? No.
It's worth it. I mean, I haven't been doing it enough, but it's like $197 for the year, and everybody in your house can use it. But I mean, everything, directing, cartooning, music producing, food, anything you can think of, they have the best of the best teaching a course on it. Because I'm taking a class from Samuel L. Jackson about acting. Believe it or not, I'm taking a class from Kris Jenner about marketing. Because I mean, who the fuck is better than her at marketing? I mean, like her or not, she knows how to market.
And I'm drawing a blank, but Bart Simpson. What is?
Oh, the voice of Bart Simpson. You want to say Julie Kavner? That's Marge.
No.
God, I watched her again not that long ago. She's gonna find it. But anyway, Nancy Cartwright. John and her found it at the same time. Yeah, she has a a class on voiceovers and how to find your bass voice and then go from there.
Yep.
And then Frank Caliendo had a little thing like that too. And it was like a quick 10-minute course. Like start right here, and if you talk through your throat, you become somebody else. You know, it was just like, and he just quickly morphed like into 5 different people by just a slight inflection, a slight, move your lip just a certain way. It's amazing, man. A lot of people think they can do, like, even podcasting. A lot of people think they can just jump right on and entertain you, and nope. I've seen some, like, y'all, they say the average podcaster that starts out, they last 7 shows before they bounce.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And you, last week,
204th live episode.
Yep.
Ain't that some shit, man?
I'm on the 204. Okay.
You're on the 204. Yes.
Yep. All right.
Yep. So let's see okay. So I was gonna ask Daryl, do you remember the referee? And everybody's name is just escaping me right now. His name was Justin. Yes. Thank you. Have you read his book?
No.
Because he's right from the area.
He's not the referee. He's
Did I say referee? Ring announcer.
The ring announcer.
See, I didn't have that wine beforehand.
Yeah, he's a ring announcer for AEW now.
Yeah, and I woke up for my nap like 10 minutes before the show. Yeah. Anyway, he has a book. Have you read it?
No.
Do you have Audible?
Yes.
I will send it to you.
Okay.
Throughout his entire career with the WWE, he was treated so bad. I would have broke.
Oh yeah.
I would have broke, or I would have killed somebody, because I mean he got physically assaulted. He got they were in England and they stole his passport and threw it away, so he had to get an emergency counsel passport to get back to Raw the next day.
Didn't they shit his bag, or was that somebody else that? I mean, that's just
everybody got their bag shit in, but yeah, one of those things happened. Just a lot of terrible shit, and a lot of big names too. Some of them who are producers now that just did terrible shit. One night he feared for his life because JBL and Chris Benoit were drunk off their asses and looking for him to kick his ass.
Well, yeah, if Chris Benoit's looking for me, I'll be scared too.
Yeah, no kidding.
So he literally, because they were shaking door handles and shit, so he literally had to put the chair under his door handle for the night just to keep himself safe. And this was in another country, it's like Japan or some shit like that. So
damn.
Yeah. So yeah, it would have broke me, but especially that thing with the passport, like you got to do a bunch of quick thinking. You got to get to work the next day. And then apparently as he was walking through the hall, Vince, you know, they crossed each other and he's like, remember your passport, and kind of chuckled as he walked off. So he knew about it.
Wow.
So yeah. And, you know, unfortunately their current head man in charge was involved in a lot of the pranks.
Oh yeah.
A lot of the bullying. Back when he had long, glorious hair and a caveman forehead. But yeah, I'm gonna send you that book. I highly encourage you to listen to it, man, because you won't believe the shit he went through and stayed because it's his dream. But fuck, man, it would have broke me. And like I said, it have broke me, or I would have killed somebody and I'd be in jail because that's how bad it was.
Wow.
Well, I mean, if you think about all the substance abuse that was happening too.
Oh yeah,
in the late '90s and things of that nature, and you think about the mental health that some of those performers were going through, and then this is the environment they're going through. I always tell my wife about how, like, you know, Chris Mazzanin, how he's been open about what he's gone through, and he's still there doing what he's doing. And there were several people he's put on blast for trying to put him out of where he's at, and he's kind of overcome that. But like, just then kind of think about all the individuals who didn't have that big of a role in the company, that were just kind of those marginal roles that were, you know, I made it big. I mean, WWE is the big leagues in that industry, right? So I made it big here. Here I am, and this is the environment that you're being put into. And in order for you to move up in these ranks and move up in these spots, this is what you got to do. And the mental tear that it has on people, and the substance abuse that went on, like it's amazing that worse has not happened than that company. So
another reason I'm glad I didn't make it, because I'm thinking about my mindset back then, and I have an addictive personality. I just do. You know, if something's good, something works, 3's going to work better. So I really have to check myself on a lot of things. But being around that culture, I can't say that I wouldn't have fallen into it. I have that inner compass that tells me when I'm with people that are going to destroy my life. So I would probably find a way to separate from them. But it's so fucking mafioso that even that they would take as disrespect and fuck with you more.
Right.
You know, the thing is, like, first in, most in charge, essentially, except for the Undertaker. If they're there before you, you have to show them respect, regardless. You know, and they treat you like a bitch sometimes. Put that up again, please. I was gonna address that. Heard JBL is a fake ass tough guy. He had to beg Steve Blackman not to beat the hell out of him. Actually, Steve Blackman just swept his leg and he fell onto the conveyor and fell on the airport, so he didn't film anymore after that. You want to know who fucked him up? Was Joey Styles, the little announcer from ECW. He was fucking with him, told him to quit, wouldn't quit, clocked him right in the jaw, knocked him out. So, yeah, that earned a lot of favor among the boys in the back.
Yeah, Benoit, definitely not somebody that I would want to mess with.
No. I've met him twice, not met him, like been around him. And he gives off that. There was. Well,
I was gonna say, isn't he the one that killed?
He gave off a very, I wouldn't even say disturbing. It was a vibe that was like, I'm gonna step 2 steps this way. It was like June dude had a long leather coat on and shit. His head was massive in real life. Like it was like how midgets are, you know. And yes, that is the acceptable medical term, you bitches. But how midgets have the big heads and or dwarfs too. That's how his was, but he's a full-grown man. He was like 5'9", but his head was just huge. His arms were like up real short.
Yeah, no neck.
Like remember Daryl, remember Kevin Willis played for the he had them alligator arms like that too. His motherfucker was like 7 foot and just like arms like this all short and shit. She's like, oh, whoops, baby, I'm sorry. Missing that baseline shot. Oh man. Well, you know what? Let's talk about a little bit more of this shit next week. Let's kind of round it out with a little bit more fun shit. Yeah, let's have the laughy giggles. I turned 46 last week. As people know, that's getting a little bit up there in age. These past 26 years have flown by so fast that I literally think 10 years ago I was in high school.
Yep.
And then I have to look back. It's like 10 years ago, I had a damn 9-year-old. It's like, this shit is going too fast.
This year I have been graduated from high school for 30 years.
You old.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Don't know. Probably won't go to the reunion.
27 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hamburger. Remember that guy? What's his name? Ronaldo Hamburger Jones or something like that. Excuse me. Yeah, instead of cussing, it was hamburger. Shut it, old man. You're making me feel old too. Man, you ain't but like 5 days behind me. Just fell out a little bit late. Alonzo Hamburger Jones. If y'all don't know him, look him up after this episode. Instead of cussing, he says hamburger for everything. And even sometimes, like in the middle of a sentence, like, man, I was going to the store, hamburger, and I went down there. but like where everybody else would be like, God damn, hamburger. Yeah, you see what Family Guy did a takeoff on that? When they went to Africa to get it was to get Lois's dad's money back from the Nigerian prince that robbed him online. He was copying that guy, and so he would say like all this terrible stuff like, if you don't work harder, you're gonna get your hands chopped off. Hamburger. Oh. Like, he would just say something brutal, and then if you said hamburger, everybody would like calm down. So anyway, 46, still looking good, but not as good as Crockett and Tubbs. Look at these bad boys. 74. Not Tubbs so much. He looks like he fell into something and some addict got to him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Crockett looks good.
Yeah, he does.
If you think they look good, the entire Bundy family looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, 77, 60. She is 69.
Dang.
Still looking hot. Kelly has MS now, which is unfortunate, but she's 52. Buttons is 49. And you probably didn't know this, but Al could kick your ass. He's a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Is he really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, matter of fact, I think he's a black belt now, actually. I think he graduated.
Wow.
But yeah.
So that means that he's active in it.
Yes. Yeah, he's a very active dude.
I know somebody who I used to work with who had a black belt, like got a black belt probably 15 years prior.
Oh, that storefront black belt bullshit.
I have a black belt. I'm like, when in the fuck have you ever used
Let's put it this way. I could go like that
since I've
and it would have been over. Like, short and stubby, get winded trying to kick.
Mm-hmm.
All right, kids got to go to bed, maybe do some birthday wrestling. Hey, man, get that peanut butter, slap it on, play booty tag. Have a good night, bro.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, man. Yeah, get that wrestling in there. Get some of that in you. Play in you while you're wrestling.
Hey, you're old now, man. Plenty of fluids. Jesus
next to all the wheels he took.
Yep.
Now, this is a good idea. I would have never thought of this. So, a teacher gave a balloon to every student who had to inflate it, write their name on it, and throw it in the hallway. The teacher then mixed up all the balloons. The students were then given 5 minutes to find their own balloon. Despite a hectic search, no one found their balloon. At that point, the teacher told the students to take the first balloon that they found and hand it to the person whose name was written on it. Within 5 minutes, everyone had their own balloon. The teacher said to the students, "These balloons are like happiness. We will never find it if everyone is looking for their own. But if we care about other people's happiness, we'll find ours too." Ain't that special? I don't know why that reminded me of Abbott Elementary, but do you watch that, Daryl?
Yeah, don't be talking about Abbott Elementary. Hey, man, that and Ted Lasso, those are my shows, yo.
I haven't had a chance to watch Ted Lasso.
You would love it.
On Apple, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on Apple. You would love it. You would.
Maybe I'll do the free week and just try to get it all in.
Yeah,
I'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I've heard a lot of good things about that. But Abbott, man, I've watched that on the loop like 3 times, like seasons, like just over and over. Because there's something I missed the first time every time. And you're like some little joke that got past me the first time. But you're watching it, aren't you, Jay?
Yes.
All right.
It is funny. It's hilarious.
I think the new season start. Did you say
This week?
Yeah, it starts this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next week? Is it the 7th or something?
I was like,
yeah, it's coming up. Yeah,
Wednesday?
Next Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah.
And just like new technology, I've been spoiled by binging, so I'll wait till the season gets done and then I'll watch it
I know.
consecutively.
I do that too. You know, because I'll think to myself, nah, just let it go, forget about the show, come back like in 2 months and see what done built up. Because I get mad. I'll watch it like, no. You just see the credits and it goes on to the next show. Yeah, that's always a little.
But it gets fun because you get a little Christmas cheer sometime in the middle of May and Christmas seasons and stuff like that. It's great. It's like, oh yeah.
Mad Men next. People say that's pretty good. I caught a few episodes when it was on that the Roku channel. You know, when they'll like take one series and just do a marathon for a few days. And I caught a few of the middle seasons, and it looked pretty good. So I might try that out. They might lose me about 2 episodes in. Who knows? That your dogs or your littles?
Dogs.
This year, you know, of course, we're politically divided as ever. So I'd like to give my suggestion. We should all vote for Rick Astley. He'll never give you up, never let you down, never run around or desert you. He'll never make you cry. He'll never say goodbye. He'll never tell a lie or hurt you.
Do you want to tell people how?
No, I do not.
Song? Okay.
Yeah, I used to think it was.
And then you will.
First, I'm going to give you up. Then I'm going to let you down. I thought he was like fucking this girl up. I'm like, God damn. He's like, then I'm going to turn around and hurt you. I'm like, oh, you don't do all that?
And singing in such a lovely melody.
Oh, he's like singing all happy and shit. Like,
I don't see with your little baritone voice out there just telling people what you're going to
do. Since we didn't have a lowdown, she probably fell asleep trying to get on. Did you have a Darwin?
I can bring one up if you'd like.
All right, let's get to one of our favorite pieces of the show. It's Darwin's Darling.
Yes, the tale of stupid criminals with music by me. About a guy and another guy who did something really stupid and then they wound up in the penitentiary. Something like that.
Alaska bank robber who was busted counting cash outside tried scheme again and failed. An Alaska bank robber who was caught immediately after his heist got counting his loot outside the targeted branch was nabbed again, trying to rob the same bank. Michael Gale Nash, 49, was swiftly taken into custody
and his brother Kevin
for carrying out the failed scheme that closely resembled his fumble from 5 years earlier. The botched 2018 burglary earned him a spot on at least one of the, quote, dumbest criminals list after he slipped a teller a demand note with his name and birth date scrawled on the back.
His address. Send them here.
Clad in black jeans and black boots, a black Carhartt jacket, and a black hat, Nash allegedly sauntered up to First National Bank in Anchorage and began to violently pull on the front doors, according to the Alaska U.S. Attorney's Office. Employees told Nash through the glass that the bank would not be open for another hour, but he stood his ground and passed a note through the locked door to the bank supervisor. This is a robbery. Put the money in a bag and I will walk out.
Unlock this door, damn it. It's a robbery.
This is a robbery. God bless us all. The note read, according to...
It said God bless us all?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice of him.
Arrest affidavit. It does not appear that Nash included his personal information on the note this time around. The supervisor immediately yelled at the for the bank door to be locked via a secondary locking mechanism and called 911. But Nash continued to loiter in front of the branch. A nervous and stuttering Nash allegedly rejected bank security officers' pleas for the robber to leave and instead encouraged him to call the police. When they finally arrived, Nash peacefully submitted and was transported to the Anchorage Police Department.
Nice hat.
I mean, first he was consistent.
Right?
Yeah.
And,
You figured, well, if it worked the first time.
I mean, and then he got up and he got his fit together. It was all black. He was all decked out in black.
Yeah.
Nice little
Dust
heart
yourself
jacket
and try
on.
again.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, he said, "God bless you." He said, "I asked. I said, please,
Nicely.
would you please open the door?"
Yep.
He said, "Stop shaking it." I obliged. That was nice. I told you what it was. It's a robbery, so we weren't surprised.
I didn't break in.
Right?
It's just entering.
Exactly.
Enter.
And how dare you not let me enter?
And technically, is it robbing if they didn't give him the money?
No, but no,
I guess it's attempted.
It's
attempted robbery.
Yeah. Well, he could just say, "I'm just playing," because he didn't have no weapon, did he?
Well, I mean, he did write his name down. And
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Dipshit.
So it was, just in case they had to mail it, they know exactly where to send it.
I expect it happened in Florida. No, that used to be the name of this segment.
Yeah.
A Florida person. Then we started running out of stories.
Yeah. $1 million fraudster found on a dating app while running from the cops.
That's a good place to be.
Wanted man Wayne Parker successfully evaded authorities for nearly a year after committing $1 million in fraud. But then the farmer from England signed up for a dating app. Cops were shocked to see the convicted criminal creating a profile on Match.com. The 35-year-old scammer was found guilty last October of owing a whopping $970,000 to suppliers. He had failed to appear in court in February for sentencing and was being hunted by police to no avail until he decided to start looking for love. He has also been hiring cars in a bid, it is believed, to avoid detection by the police. Mr. Parker has repeatedly said that he would return to Suffolk to face the consequences for his actions, but so far he has failed to do so.
You jerk.
He knows it.
You said.
He knows it is only a matter of time before the law catches up with him, and we would strongly urge him to hand himself in sooner rather than later. The frisky farmer was previously prosecuted for posing a serious risk of spreading bovine tuberculosis.
Cow disease.
Yes. He had failed to dispose of farmed animals
It's the best part of tuberculosis.
appropriately and was found to be moving, quote, large quantities of cattle without following the proper process, as well as not keeping adequate records of the cattle. In February 2020, Parker was handed a 12-week jail sentence and an 18-month suspension for doing business. He was also ordered to pay a $155 victim surcharge, along with costs for several trading standards. He's just gross.
Yeah.
I mean, my man stole all that money and he owed $970,000. He's like, okay, I'm gonna get that paid off. I got my debts done. I feel pretty good. Let me go over here and see if we can get me some honeys.
Honeys. I heard that forever, man.
You like that?
Let me use my real name.
I am Gen X, man.
And I swear I won't spread any virus.
I won't spread any virus. I mean, I got the best type of tuberculosis you can have. It's the bovine. So, and then he needs to hook up with my man Nash on doing proper paperwork for because I mean Nash get it right, get his birth certificate, get all that registered up.
And that's the Darlings.
It's the tale of stupid criminals with music by me. About a guy and another guy who did something really stupid and then they wound up in the penitentiary. Something like that.
All right.
Something like that.
Something like that. Let's see. I was gonna do one more. Daryl, did you see the trust fall last week?
I think I did. What? Play it again.
All right, everybody. This is if you know somebody heavy in your life, try this shit with them because I laughed so hard I almost peed on my thigh and pocket contents. Check this out.
I see your video. Right.
What the Oh!
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I just got. We're at a long day. Bro, I already know what this is, man. Better ingredients, better pizza. All right, hold up. I'm just a pizza guy.
Is this a trust fall?
It's not enough trust in the world. That man is too big. That is a death fall. Y'all gotta go.
Alright.
I know y'all. Hell no.
Oh, no.
That girl jumped through the window. I didn't even see that part last time. She went straight to the hazard.
Bro,
That the mailbox. He ate it.
The cops. No.
You know you got 4 cops or security guards backing up on you.
How much does he terrorize people when you got dudes snatching up?
So what they know.
Right.
I know. I'd never seen that before, but I'm gonna have to find that and see if that's a thing because they all knew. Like, whoa! That one brother wasn't even trying to have it. Man, I already know what this is.
The golf cart.
No, I'm talking about the one that was in the elevator.
Oh,
you already know what.
He had no place to go to.
That poor little guy in the bathroom.
Oh, he got
crushed
smashed.
him all over.
The one against the mailbox, you could just hear the
clash. Yep.
Damn. Well, there's one more, and it's a brand new segment, and it's called what the hell is it called? Coletrane's back to school. So basically, I always give you like 2 little facts that you had no idea about. And of course, it has an opening. I gotta produce something. Quick, what movie?
I have no idea. I was just fascinated that you still knew where your graduation gown was.
Yeah, I found that at my mom's house last time I went there, last July. She had like a big pile of my shit, and I was like, what the hell? I can do some shit with this bad boy.
She's like, take this.
Get this shit out of here. No, that was the movie Back to School from '86, Rodney Dangerfield.
I wasn't allowed to watch that at that point in time.
Really? Okay, you got to go back and watch it now.
Yeah, you know my parents, man. At that time, I wasn't allowed to watch that.
Yeah, there was a boob on there, I think. And his name was Rodney Dangerfield.
It's probably PG-13.
I think it was actually.
Oh.
Nowadays, it's probably PG.
Yeah.
Yep, Iceman, you got it, bro. All right. 2 quick facts that you didn't know. You may know them as a bunch of heroes that broke box office records with their movies, but the Avengers was also a group of Jewish assassins who hunted Nazi war criminals after World War II. They poisoned 2,283 German prisoners of war. The Avengers.
What?
This one I did not know at all. From 1912 to 1948, the Olympic Games held competitions in the fine arts. Medals were given for literature, architecture, sculpture, painting, and music. Obviously, the art created was required to be Olympic themed. And that is your back to school moment. There's nothing funnier than an overproduced show. So
I'm just happy you spelled everything right.
Oh, me too, man. I do spell check. Next week actually tomorrow is the beginning of Black History Month. So we will talk a little bit of Black history, including what this flag is all about. You guys know?
It's the African flag.
Daryl? Yes.
Yes, I do.
All right. Y'all know the colors and what they represent?
Yes.
All right. This?
Blood.
This?
Skin of the color of the people of the nation.
And this?
Earth.
Very good. See, white people, y'all learn something. There is an African American flag, and it does represents our blood, our sweat, our tears, or the color of our skin, and the earth y'all took from us, and the earth that we gave y'all. So anyway, we'll talk about all that and more next week, 9 o'clock every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Knock it off.
Yeah, damn it. Hopefully Lo has her phone charged next week. Daryl, you can drop in anytime. We're going to be talking about more of the WWE event shit. We're going to be a few African-American history things that y'all didn't know about, and a few more videos to react to. And as always, you got to let the people go out with a smile. So I bring to you guys, well, first of all, for Daryl, for JJ, for Shelly, this is the mighty, mighty Coletrane saying it's time to pull out. As usual, we got to leave you with a smile.
Hey, Utah District 12, listen up right here. There's a new name on the ballot for the Senate this year. My name is Linda Paulson, Republican and awesome. Love God and family and the Constitution. I tried to get another conservative to run. Nobody could do it, so I'm getting it done. I'm pro-religion.